Welcome to the very first episode of Fiduciary Case Files. I'm Andrew De Vries with Probate Agent Real Estate Services. Over the past 20 years, I've had the privilege of representing family and professional fiduciaries in more than 1,000 probate, trust, conservatorship, and other fiduciary real estate transactions throughout the San Francisco Bay Area. In this issue, I'll be sharing actual fiduciary cases from my practice, not to discuss confidential details, but to explore the decisions fiduciaries face, the challenges that arise, and the lessons that can help protect estate value, reduce fiduciary risk, and help fiduciaries make informed, defensible real estate decisions. Whether you're a family trustee, executor, conservator, professional fiduciaries, or an estate planning attorney who advises fiduciaries, my goal is to provide practical insights that you can apply in your own situations. Today's case is called "The Highest Offer Isn't Always the Best Offer." One of the most common questions I receive from trustees and executors is, don't I simply have to accept the highest offer? The answer is not necessarily. A fiduciary certainly has a duty to maximize the value for beneficiaries, but maximizing the value isn't always the same as accepting the highest purchase price. In many cases, it's about selecting the offer that has the greatest likelihood of producing the best overall outcome for the estate. Recently, I represented a fiduciary in a sale that generated multiple offers. As is often the case, one offer came in with the highest purchase price. But before making a recommendation, we carefully analyzed every offer in its entirety, not just the number on the first page. The purchase price is only one part of the equation. For example, is the buyer paying cash or are they obtaining financing? If they're getting a loan, how strong is the lender's pre-approval? Is there a financing contingency that allows the buyer to cancel if they can't obtain the loan? Then there's the appraisal contingency. If the property appraises below the purchase price, will the buyer make up the difference in cash, ask to renegotiate the price, or simply walk away? Inspection contingencies are another important consideration. Has the buyer already reviewed the inspections and disclosures before submitting the offer, or are they asking for additional time to investigate the property? The more due diligence a buyer has completed up front, the lower the likelihood of surprises later in the transaction. We also evaluate the proposed closing timeline. Does the buyer need an extended close of escrow? Do they have another property that must close first? Are there unusual contractual requests, repair demands, or other terms that would create additional risk or delay? We also look beyond the contract itself. Has the buyer demonstrated a sincere commitment to the transaction? Have they taken the time to thoroughly review the disclosures? Have they communicated professionally throughout the process? Sometimes those factors can provide additional insight into how likely a transaction is to successfully close. None of these contingencies are inherently bad. In fact, many are perfectly reasonable. But every contingency introduces some level of uncertainty, and part of a fiduciary's responsibility is evaluating that risk alongside the purchase price. That's because when a transaction falls out of escrow, the consequences can be significant. The estate continues to incur carrying costs, the property can lose momentum in the marketplace, beneficiaries become frustrated, and sometimes the next buyer isn't willing to pay as much. So while one offer may be the highest on paper, another may have a much greater probability of actually closing at the agreed upon price and terms. That's why I encourage fiduciaries to think beyond the highest number and instead focus on the expected outcome. The best offer is often the one that combines a strong purchase price with the highest likelihood of a successful closing, while also creating a recommendation that the fiduciary can confidently defend if a beneficiary asks later, "Why did you choose this offer instead of another one?" Thoughtful, well-documented decision process is one of the best ways for a fiduciary to fulfill their duty and reduce the risk of future disputes. Key takeaway. When reviewing multiple offers, don't ask which offer has the highest price. Instead, ask which offer is the most likely to produce the best overall outcome for the estate. In closing, if you're a family or a professional fiduciary or an estate planning or litigation attorney who advises fiduciaries, I hope you'll subscribe to this channel for more real-world case studies and practical guidance on the fiduciary real estate. And if you're currently working through a fiduciary real estate situation, whether it's a tenant-occupied property, a valuation question, or another complex sales decision, I invite you to give me a call. I'm always happy to provide a complimentary initial consultation to help you evaluate your options and determine a strategy that's in the best interests of the estate. I'm Andrew De Vries with Probate Agent Real Estate Services. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Fiduciary Case Files.